The day the Tollman was no more, the wind changed direction for the first time in 30 years. It didn't howl. It didn't rage. It just shifted, quietly. The old weather vanes groaned as they turned. Smoke from the chimneys curled back toward the village like it had forgotten where to go. Most folks didn't notice, or didn't want to. They were too busy celebrating. After all, the passage was theirs again. For as long as anyone could remember, the Tollman had stood at the narrow pass, tall, cloaked, silent. Travelers would hand him a coin, or sometimes just a kind word, and in return, he'd tip his wide hat and let them through. The road was always safe. No rock slides, no wolves, no monsters. People called it a miracle. But then they noticed something. He wasn't just letting us through, he was letting them in too. Traders from the other side, outsiders. It didn't sit right with some. One winter morning, a man named Callum stood in the village square and said loud enough for all to hear, "Why should a man we didn't choose decide who enters our land?" And that was enough. That's all it took. By spring, they'd decided to act. It wasn't a riot, just a group of folks who believed they were doing what was best. They climbed the pass at dawn, brought pitchforks, brought torches. The Tollman didn't fight, didn't shout. He just looked at them, sad maybe, and let them do what they came to do. When it was over, the post stood empty, his little sign still swaying in the breeze. One toll, kindness. A week passed, then two. No traders came, no letters, no news from the other side. They sent a hunting party across the pass. Only the horses came back, eyes wide, foaming. No sound from the men who rode them. Then came the dreams. People whispered of things in the fog, shadows that moved too slow, voices that sounded like wind dragging across teeth. Even the birds began flying in strange circles, like they wanted out but couldn't find the sky. Someone finally whispered what no one else would. Maybe the Tollman wasn't just taking payment. Maybe he was holding something back. They tried to send word, tried to reopen the pass, but it had changed. One man walked in and came out days later, aged, barefoot, mumbling about staircases that went nowhere and hands that reached from the sky. So they stopped. They didn't send anyone else, didn't go near it again. Instead, they nailed a crooked sign to a fence at the edge of town. The letters were jagged, uneven, like the writer didn't want to linger too long. It read, "Do not cross the pass. It doesn't lead where it used to."
Like and subscribe for more eerie tales.